preparing for an AI world. Okay, so this will age very quickly, and I know it'll age very quickly because almost every week things are changing quite dramatically in AI. We're perhaps not seeing that, unless you're really watching it carefully, as I am. But yeah, the technology is developing in leaps and bounds. It feels like every week, every month, we're having quite a serious milestone. So look away and then look back, and the world is moving forward quickly. So how do you deal with this? How should you be thinking about your career? Well, it's very difficult to give you a proper answer, but I thought it was important to at least attempt, at least try, and give you some points to think on. So first off, right, let's deal with today first. Today, right now, whatever job you're thinking about, people are still being employed. People are still employed, still working. Now, there's lots of scaremongering. Okay, there are lots of individuals I meet, certainly in TikTok Live, saying, should I even bother with accounting as a career? And that's difficult because it does sound comical. What? Obviously, of course. But what these individuals are doing is they're looking at things over. This is coming from, for example, a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old who's thinking about how they're going to, what career could they think about or plan toward, and over a 20 or 30-year horizon is a very valid question. However, we are still going to have to pay taxes somehow. We are still going to have to calculate profit and loss. Now, look, a lot of the basics can and probably will be done by AI throughout the economy. How long that's going to, how long will it take for that to happen? I don't know. Years. Now, what does it mean for you, though? Well, by all means, I'm not entirely sure you can AI-proof your career. I think making sure you're fully aware of the key movements in AI is very important. So what newsletters, what influencers, what courses can you be following to make sure that you're staying briefed? Okay, do not be surprised. Don't be surprised by AI. Absolutely make sure that you, as one of the younger generations, make sure you're on it with AI. There are many in my generation who they're doing that equivalent thing with a VCR, the kind of video recorder thing, which is going, I don't know how to, so, and they're essentially declaring bankruptcy in their technical capability when it comes to videos or VCR stuff. Right? I saw this a lot with my parents. They would simply just go, you program it, because it was quite complicated. It wasn't complicated for a 12-year-old, but it was complicated for a 30-year-old. What I see are many individuals now, certainly at mid and senior level, just simply say, I don't know. I don't. Right. That's okay, but I think it's really important that you should be fluent in what's capable, what's possible. Make sure you almost lean in and force yourself to be using the latest AI tools that are available. It might be useful to make sure, for example, you've got a subscription to ChatGPT or Claude or these ones, just so you're seeing what's possible, right? Use the tech, play with it, experience it. Make sure you're staying AI ready, AI aware. Now, but how should you be preparing? Well, we're likely to see all sorts of impact across the economy, and fundamentally it's very difficult to give a qualified view here. I would imagine any white collar and blue collar activity that is repetitive will at some point be replaced by technology, but there are likely to be significant opportunities coming with this. Yes, we might see big sections of the workforce undone, not required, but then what opportunities does that create? So I think viewing your career as a 40-year thing, one thing that you do is probably very unhealthy. By all means, say, look, I'm into accountancy. Cool, right, great. Or I'm into law. Great. Both of which are likely to be heavily impacted by AI. Show me a discipline that isn't. But now, what do we mean by impacted? So I would expect very quickly that a lot of the basic bookkeeping stuff, for example, just to get done by AI, done by systems. include, we might, the blanket term is AI, right? But actually it's making sure you're plugging a lot of the dots. So for example, still today, I have to collect, right, bits of paper to evidence a receipt, right? And then, so I've done my card transaction, okay? That transaction automatically goes into my accounting system, right? Or my ERP system if I'm an employee of a big company, okay? But I still have to go, like I had to keep the piece of paper depending on which country you live in, right? Depending what the legal realities say. And depending on what the legal realities say. But you still have to have this piece of paper, right? And now someone has to then process this piece of paper. It has to go into a shoebox, for example, right? Or a wallet, and then it needs to get typed up, scanned. So there's a lot of industry in this. There's a lot of industry. But the minute systems and processes and legal realities can be improved, then all of that goes. Not all of it, not suddenly. It'll be gradual, then sudden, right? So that's what I mean by a transformation of the market through AI. I think it's just moved toward more and more efficiency. So a lot of positions will be eliminated simply because we just don't need them. We made the underlying thing more efficient. Doesn't mean there isn't an opportunity for you though, but it does mean that your ability to be flexible, your ability to expect a portfolio style career, so not one company doing one thing for 40 years, making sure that you're open to other ways of doing things, making sure that you aren't going to be sidelined because the only thing you can do is this one thing is very important. And being open to retraining. In the past, it's been possible for someone to do a career for 20 odd years, and then that industry stops in that country, and then the individual just says, we'll stop there. And unless they positively have to, that's just how things go, right? I think it's really valuable if you can maintain a flexible posture, keep an eye open, watch what's moving in various different industries. I don't want to be. I think it's probably inappropriate for me to be saying, don't do that industry, do this one, do that one. We just don't know. So one foot in front of the other, keep a very close eye on what's moving with this technology. Make sure that you are AI first, that you're AI ready. Okay, there's a famous phrase doing the rounds at the moment, which is AI will not take your job right now. So AI will not take your job. A person using AI will. So make sure, it's a fun, silly quote, but there's some short-term, maybe medium-term truth to that, right? Make sure that you're the person that is familiar with and fluent in AI. Okay, right. Stay updated and good luck. Let's move on.